If I was in Nazi Germany, I would definitely be screaming at the top of my lungs. But no, it's happening now in America. There are a lot of people that live in the delusion that it's just going to change by them just existing. And unfortunately, like, we can't just exist anymore. We have to like stand up and speak out. If you don't speak up when they take your rights away, then you can't be mad when it's gone. We tried to warn you, okay, Project 2025, that was real, but you know, it's like kind of too crazy to be real. So I get it. I get people who are like, what do you mean? What do you mean they're making private prisons and making money off our bodies and slavery? What do you mean slavery still exists? You know, New York City is where I found my chosen family. I was living with my mentor at the time, Scott Andrew Misty. And you know that famous photograph of the drag queens in the back of a taxi cab from Stonewall? It's taught in art history because it was a pivotal moment of queer uprising with Marsha P. Johnson. And they led the liberation movement for LGBTQA at the time against police brutality. And Stonewall was the first brick these drag queens and trans women threw to start the change. And this photograph has all this angst and trauma of being in the back of a taxi cab after the Stonewall riots. And Misty was in this fierce blue hair, and Jimmy Paul, who was a hairstylist, was also in the cab with her. And my friend Misty, Scott Andrew, was a fierce makeup artist. And he was the assistant to Kevin O'Quan. Anyway, so Misty took me under her wing and showed me community, showed me how to create Sunday brunches with our loved ones and cook for each other. And we had like silver orgies at the Spectrum where we'd like get on our freak selves and make some like art that was like fierce and liberated. And together we did this. There was no like finances goal. We didn't care to sell a brand or, you know, market to a conglomeration. We were just like living our fantasy with each other. And it was so childlike and innocent, and you know, birth of inspiration with your chosen family is so magical. It's like beyond, but they really helped me thrive here. And unfortunately they passed away of cancer. And so I had to find home again. And for me, that was the Savage Ranch. You'll be a rancher coming around the mountain when she comes. She'll be coming around the mountain when she comes. Yeehaw, she'll be coming around. Oh my God, just destroying things. Cut. What are we doing here? Should I get ready? Should I change? My showgirl grandmother raised me, and she performed for the troops. And at that time of World War II, America was on the right side of history, and we fought against the Nazis, and we helped heal the world. And that was a powerful message. That was something to be proud of, we are America, that we did that. From then, it's been corrupt boots. My grandfather had to leave America after he found out they were actually prolonging the war, because propaganda of war, the war machine, makes lots of money. Boku bucks for the government. Stocks are traded, steel is manufactured, airplanes, bombs. They make boku bucks. And instead of clearing, you know, a nasty regime and creating peace, instead of doing that, they were creating more war, chaos, and violence.
Let me remind you, this city's government has no jurisdiction over what we do with our bodies. You keep saying that the LGBTQ issues goes against your religion. I would love to know what religion that is. Is this the religious agenda of the 412 Church? You know, the Church of Tim Thompson, whose brother is a convicted pedophile who helped you get elected?
So in Transmecula, where I live, Project 2025 started. They were taking over like, you know, little microcosms. And in Temecula, it's a Bible Belt. It's like, you know, white Christian nationalism boots. There's a corrupt preacher, Tim Thompson, from the 412 Church. His brother is a convicted pedophile who's had a lewd act with a 14-year-old 3 times. And this asshole has a podcast, and he's like outing trans teachers, getting them fired, but he's hiring people within the church and getting them elected. And then they're enacting these policies like mandatory outing policy and banning books like CRT, you know, the white guilt of it all. But with mandatory outing policy, you know, if Jimmy's wearing nail polish one day And he goes to school. His teacher could write him up to his homophobic parents. His homophobic parents kick him out in the street. Suddenly, Jimmy's homeless because there's no youth queer homeless programs. There's no homeless programs, period, in town. So these are the people I'm speaking against. And that's why I go to the city council meetings and rally. It's terrible. I hate going. People are like, why don't you get in politics? I would have to believe the system worked in order for me to play in it. I commend those that do. There are a lot of trans people that are doing that whole thing. I never want to become the monster that I'm fighting, and that's what you end up doing when you're in those spaces. But if someone's like a fucking freak that wants you dead, like there's no convincing that person like whether you should be alive or not. They want to send you to alligator Alcatraz. There's no convincing that person. I like my happiness too much. It just weighs on my soul going in those spaces, and I need therapy, like, after I go. It's terrible. They're all seething, like, looking at me like I'm crazy. So I give it right back to them, hey. And on that note, I'm going to take a poppers. This poppers is going to help me break the curse. Ready? Hey, baby. Gonna keep on dancing, dancing. There's a night away. Gonna keep on dancing, dancing. There's a night away. Gonna keep on dancing, dancing. There's a night away. Keeps on dancing, dancing. There's a night away. Welcome to another show, darling. I'm looking late.